sustain employing anyone doing work which is valued less than their wage. The higher the minimum wage, the sooner Jimmy is out of a job. Think about it. How many jobs would be lost if entrepreneurs were forced to only hire people whose labor they valued at $20 an hour? How about 50, $100 an hour? If the minimum wage is fundamentally sound, we should be able to increase it without fear of hurting the economy. Sure, some very highly skilled workers will be hurt by a $100 an hour minimum wage. The rest of the workforce will be unemployed. When employment costs increase,
Oh, you can stop
entrepreneurs
it.
have two choices. They can
Back to PowerPoint.
Yeah, thanks. Did you know that someone working full-time for minimum wage makes about $14,500 after taxes, which is below the poverty line to support a family of four? We believe that this needs to change. No one should have to be dealing with these circumstances.
Minimum wage is supposed to help the poor and less skilled and youth, but it really doesn't. The average worker who would benefit from this would be around 35 years old. About 28 million people in total would be affected if minimum wage was raised. This includes that 1 million workers that would be out of poverty because of this. So far, out of 50 states, including DC, was enacted minimum wage increases. We want all 50 states to see this day. So higher wages are for good employees who work hard and are productive. If they maintain the same wage for a long period of time, they will be more likely to leave their job because of all the work they put in without a raise and / or extra benefits.
These are just some facts about minimum wage. The number of states where a minimum wage worker can afford a 2-bedroom apartment working a 40-hour week is 0. There are 5 states with no minimum wage. There are 13 states that annually raise their minimum wage to keep up with the cost of living, including Washington, D.C. 3 times in the past 30 years, Congress passed legislation to increase minimum wage. Next slide. Can you go to the next slide? We'll go back to that one.
Okay, so we found an article about how McDonald's and how they admitted that their employees don't make enough money to physically survive above the poverty line. This is an excerpt from the article. Quote, McDonald's has partnered with Visa to launch a website to help its low-wage workers making an average of $8.25 an hour to budget. But while the site is clearly meant to illustrate that McDonald's workers should be able to live on their low wages, it actually underscores exactly how hard it is for low-paid fast workers to get by. McDonald's is telling their employees flat out that they don't make enough money to live above or at the poverty line because they only make $8.25 an hour. They also tell their employees to get a second job. Not everyone has enough time to do all that stuff. Working 60+ hours a week at 2 different jobs just can't be done. It's too much work for the physical body to take. And basically every facet of this budget is unachievable. And for an uninsured person to independently buy healthcare, he or she must be out an average of $215 a month just for an individual plan. While some full-time McDonald's workers do qualify for the company's $14 a week health plan that offers CAPS coverage at $10,000 a year and is often insufficient. If the person wants to eat, moderate spending will run them $32 a week for themselves and $867 a month to feed a family of 4. And a fast food worker is living in the city, while New York City rents just reach an average of $3,000 a month.
slide, please. This is just a chart that was made by the website who we took the statement from. And it's just explaining all the expenses that a McDonald's employee would have to be covering. And this is even with the second job. So just imagine if this was only their job at McDonald's, it'd be basically, this would be cut in half. This would be cut in half.
So like, let's say you have to get gas for the day and you're like, it's on E, you would have to spend all your money on gas.
Yeah, and it's like still barely enough to get by. And the average hours of the person working at both jobs would be about 50 to 60 plus a week. Can we go on the next slide? In the 2014 State of the Union address, President Obama called on Congress to raise the national minimum wage from $7.25 to $10.10 an hour, and soon after signed an executive order to raise the minimum wage to $10.10 for the people working on new federal service contracts put in place. A number of state legislatures and governors, mayors, and city council members and business owners have decided to listen to the president's words and raise their wages for their residents and employees. Since President Obama called for a minimum wage increase in his 2013 State of the Union address, 13 states, including Washington, D.C., have passed laws to raise their minimum wage. According to the Council of Economic Advisors, about 7 million American workers will benefit from these increases as of 2017, and more to come if more businesses keep opening, welcoming new employees. As we've said before, if enacted today, this would currently affect 28 million workers right now. Can you go back to the opinion slide, please?
I think that minimum wage should be higher than it is now because now in certain states, because of what it does to the community, the fact that a simple family of four can't live a regular life due to the fact that minimum wage is too low, it's kind of ridiculous and in ways seems unfair. I think if you have a family, that you should be able to raise them well enough so that everyone is able to eat every night and have a roof over their head. I mean, just bumping the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour instead of $7.25 an hour drastically changes not only the economy but people's lives.
And then I think that minimum wage should be increased to $10.10 all across the country. Basically, the minimum wage is in place to give people who don't get a chance to go to college or who don't want to a chance to still make money by barely getting by and have all of the necessities to live a life above poverty, in my opinion. But facts state otherwise, that as I say again, people who work a minimum wage job live below the poverty line. These statements have been true for many years and is very accurate. You go to the last one. To conclude, there are many reasons on why minimum wage should be increased. There are also many reasons on why it shouldn't be. We are firm on raising it because everyone deserves to be able to make a living, no matter if they didn't go to college or whatnot. Also, think about all the people's lives we'd help if we raise minimum wage. Obama's State of the Union also influenced other people around the country, like officials, city member councils, members, governors, etc., to raise wages in their areas.
Let me ask you.